You're listening to the Impact Implosion on the Angry Marks Podcast Network.
Technically Mike Poland, but really Mike Draken.
I guess that would be the Kevin Arnold to your Wayne Arnold for the Wonder Years. It's we did before the show started.
This episode of Impact is called Actually Getting to the Point.
Yay!
Anyways, before we have to talk about Impact, we got to talk about some news. Now,
God.
The top news, we'll just say it. And that's it. Hulk Hogan's sex tape got released. That's it.
Brother.
That's it. We are not making any puns or anything like that. It's out there. We don't want
watch it, brother.
to talk about it. We don't want to even talk about it.
Next story.
And Lince Dorado was at the show tonight. He had a tryout match against Kazarian.
Will he be the next person to do gut check?
Good check. Anyways, Jeff Hardy had an interview talking about beating the Demons and Matt Hardy.
Which one is worse?
I don't know. I didn't read.
I think Matt Hardy is a demon in his own right, but anyway.
Yeah. We also had Daniels talk about Claire Lynch, saying, despite the fact that Claire Lynch wasn't there, the storyline was going to end when it ended. There was no changes. It ended when it ended.
Thank goodness for that.
Also, last week there were apparently 2 people at the TNA show.
Wait,
apparently,
literally?
At the TNA show during the dark matches and stuff last week. 2 people you might know of. Jillian Hall had a tryout match.
All right.
Against Tara. And at ringside was Silent Rage.
Dear Jesus.
Yeah. I'm not going to say anymore. If they freaking hire that idiot.
And let's move on.
Yeah, let's move on. Let's see what else we got here. Some WWE writer shot on former WWE writer shot on Dave Lagana. Although he personally says he never had any problem with the guy.
Then why the hell are you shooting on him? That's not what wrestling fans like.
Well, the headline said he shot at him, but he said when asked about it, he said, "I never saw the guy proposition a dude, never saw him attracted to dudes. He sat next to me on the meetings on SmackDown, so he at least fronted that he was very much into women."
Mm-hmm. Because that's pertinent. Anyway.
Yeah, that's all that is. So, and King Mo had a conference call. I don't know what it was about. And Jeff Jarrett released a video about his war with AAA, since he is, I think, still their champion. Since their whole TNA invasion angle. Their Mexican angle. That is it.
That's it.
Yeah. That is it for the news. Let's get into this show. Anyways, we had a video package covering Aces and Eights' abduction of Sting and Hulk Hogan.
Yes.
And basically that whole situation that Sting will name his partner by the end of the night. Anyways, Mr. Anderson comes out and informs Sting he liked to throw his name into the hat. And he has this...
Goes on a match with Gunner.
Yeah, had a match with Gunner. Which I just called him Jobber.
Well, that's pretty much what he is.
He was a jobber. We had Tara backstage talking to her secret celebrity boyfriend. Gail Kim interrupts and Tara calls her husband. Yeah, Gail Kim's married to this cable star. So apparently the heels are not on the same page. But their match is next. Yeah, Tara's boy. And she also mentioned how Stacy and George would not meet them for dinner last week. So they're going to see if Tori and A-Rod. And right there was when I got the idea of what she meant by Stacy and George.
Ugh.
And I
ball went right over your head.
Yeah. Yep, and I completely cursed myself for forgetting that Stacy Keibler is dating George Clooney.
And of course, Tori Wilson is dating Alex Rodriguez.
Yep. Anyways, we had a knockouts tag match between Tara and Gail Kim against ODB and Miss Tessmacher.
It was fine.
No Eric Young.
Thank goodness. He went back to the dumpster he lives in.
Yeah. Still no word on when they're going to defend those tag titles, knockouts tag titles. Still no word of
titles
when
are non-existent. There no teams
or still no. Yeah, or still no word of when they're gonna, freaking strip them of the belt. Just strip them of the belt and say, you know what?
I think Brooke Hogan
we
forgot.
have a name. Yeah, Brooke Hogan forgets everything.
Next up, we have Bruce Pritchard.
Oh, anyways, we got to get the result. Tara used her partner as a human shield, throwing her into Miss Tessmacher, then landing the Widow's Peak on the champion for the win. Then we had a segment which was a video package of the drama between Al Snow and Joey Ryan. Then we Then we talk about Al Snow and with Taz and Tay put over the next gut check, which is taking place on an upcoming TNA house show.
Yay, but not on TV.
Yeah.
Good idea, TNA.
He then welcomes Joey Ryan to the ring, and basically we get to learn that Joey Ryan has signed a contract. But what he doesn't know,
the contract he signed.
Yeah, because he kept interrupting.
He doesn't know how to read things that he signs.
Yeah, Al Snow tried to tell him it, but he said, "Don't interrupt me while I'm talking. It's not your moment." And Al Snow just laughed when he signed the contract and said, "You're not a TNA superstar yet, boy. You just signed a contract for 1 day. And it's at Bound for Glory. So, yeah, it's going to be Bound for Glory, Al Snow versus Joey Ryan."
Yep.
So, yeah, that's all what that was all about.
Yep.
And next up, we had Kurt Angle trying to convince Sting that let him pull double duty.
Yes,
of course, the World Tag Team Champions were hiding in the corner. And Sting says because he's Kurt Angle, he'll think about it.
Apparently.
Yeah, Sting says that because he's Kurt Angle, he'll think about it. But basically, he told Kurt, you really don't. You should be more focused on that. And Bully Ray interrupts and says, Sting, what's it going to take for him to be named his partner? And Sting says, go make something happen tonight. And he needs a bully because he's pissed. Then we had a TV title match between Samoa Joe and Mr. Fried Star Frog Legs RVD.
This was fine. Could have been longer.
Yes. Sadly, I missed some of the match. Joe wins.
Of course, RVD in his patented way of late loses after posing.
Yeah, of course. RVD poses on the turnbuckle to hit hit his finisher.
The 5-star fried legs.
Yeah, the fried. the the frog legs.
Big frog splash.
Yeah, it's a frog splash, I know. But anyways, he poses, Samoa Joe gets up, hits him with the muscle buster, the end.
Thanks for coming, Rob. Next time, maybe learn not to pose before you do a move.
Yeah, you gotta stop posing. Just do the damn move. Anyways, AJ Styles is backstage with Chavo and Hernandez, who are not happy about what happened at last week. Because then the tag champions are making fun of their little strategy meeting and tries to say that Angle doesn't even want to be in this match. And then Angle wants Chavo and Hernandez in a handicap match. And the champs leave the way they came in, but damage was dealt. And both teams are, pissed off. Then we had Austin Aries confront Jeff Hardy in the parking lot. They both say no hard feelings, although he said, I did most of the work, you just happened to win the match. Bully Ray shows up and he says he's got good news and bad news. The good news is he's not going to punch both of them out. The bad news is he's going to punch one of them in the face later tonight. They get in an argument and ends up being a triple threat match for later on tonight. Then we have Kurt Angle with AJ Styles versus Chavo Guerrero, who has Hernandez by his side. How was this match?
It was fine. It should have been a bit longer. Angle and Chavo, just like Angle and Eddie, have good chemistry together.
Yeah, they do. Hernandez gets on the apron to cause a distraction. Chavo rolls up Angle for the 1-2-3. And both teams are pretty pissed. Although the tag champs come in to watch. And then they just say, you boys, you're losing your belt. So basically their plan worked. Then we had another title match. The X Division title where Zema Ion fought Douglas Williams. Last time we saw Douglas Williams, he was beating the fuck out of a kid. This week, he was getting the fuck beat out of him by a younger guy.
Irony.
Yeah, although Douglas Williams was forced to tap out because Zema Ion would not break the hold, the referee reversed the decision.
Yay!
But it doesn't matter since Ion still wins. And basically says, while Hogan and Sting probably be at the top of their list, I'm not interested. I'm not going to put my pretty face on the line.
Gotta love delusion.
Yep. Anyways, we had a backstage clip where Bruce Pritchard was showing D'Lo Brown a clip of Matt Morgan invading a TNA house show and attacking a referee. He yells at D'Lo for letting that kind of stuff happen, as D'Lo was supposed to be running the live events. And they say Morgan hasn't been seen in 5 months, and they have no idea why he did what he did. So yeah, Matt Morgan's back. And they got this storyline for him, where he's attacking people.
Well,
then we
wasn't really fired, was he? He was just injured.
No, he had his
contract ran out.
Yeah, his contract ran out. Yeah. And he wouldn't sign until he figured out WWE wouldn't sign him. Anyways, James Storm basically came out, talked about all their... And tonight, at Bound for Glory, he's going to prove he's the better man. He puts over the Special Enforcer as more than a man, as a king. Not really. Bobby Roode interrupts, and Taz calls him the King of Canada.
Huh, boy. That would be a Prime Minister, Taz. Good work.
Yeah. He doesn't give a damn about King Mo and tries to psych out Storm by saying that he's never beaten him and that he rose his coat on his coattails. Of course, Roode says, no one's going to stop me from beating you up, even King Mo, and I would say that to his face if he was here right now. King Mo shows up. So, of course, Bobby Roode's got to back up his talk and say some shit before King Mo shoves him down.
King Mo is a man on a mission. Anyway.
King Mo enters the ring and has a beer with James Storm.
Yep.
Then we had Aces and Eights video package.
Beating up Joseph Parks.
You know, the last time we met, we talked about Aces and Torture. We talked about Saw. This week, it was rendition, basically, because they were waterboarding the guy.
I was going to say it was like Fatal Attraction, what? Anyway.
And they were throwing water and then beating him up. And saying,
we're going to wake you up and then watch you so you can watch us pound you.
Yep. Then they're gonna say in 10 days they're gonna reveal who their picks is because all of them are willing to die for the Brotherhood. Then they show Joseph Parks wet shirt under his suit, and you can see his man boobs.
Good Lord.
Far back before we cut out. Thankfully. Although we had to see man boobs. Dear God. Why, TNA? The reason why Abyss or Joseph Park never wore a shirt.
He did too, didn't he?
No, hey, he wore a shirt over himself. That's why he was never shirtless. There's kind of a reason for that. Anyways, our main event. Austin Aries versus Bully Ray versus Jeff Hardy. This was pretty good.
Could have been longer, just like some of the other matches tonight. Anyway.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I forgot. Before this, they set up the Bound for Glory card, and they added that Samoa Joe will be facing Magnus at the pay-per-view.
That should be fine.
Anyways, back to the match. Basically, there were several times where people were just had finishers on the other guy, and the third guy broke it up. And that happened several times. Bully was looking for his chain, couldn't find it, so he takes
and gets the belt. He gets the belt instead.
Oh, he calls Christy Hemme. That was not SoCal Val. That was Christy Hemme. I forget redhead. Sorry. But anyways, he calls her a stupid bitch. And tries to go. Hardy tries to go after Bully, but Bully ends up taking out Aries, and Bully hits the Bubba Bomb for the 3 count. And yes, they called it the Bubba Bomb. That's not me. It's not me making a mistake. They didn't call it the Bubba Bomb. No, Bully
intentional botch by Taz. Good work, Taz.
Yeah, good work. Anyways.
Gonna get TNA suit again.
After the match, Aries and Hardy have the words. Aries gets a huge round of boos from the crowd, which makes him all pissed off because Hardy's getting a bigger face reaction.
I like the way they're building this feud, actually.
I do too. Anyways, after the commercial break, we had Hogan and Sting come out to finally reveal who's Sting gonna choose. Because they already had a name before, but Sting wanted to see what Bully Ray was going to do and asked Hogan to wait.
And they choose Mr. Anderson.
Oh, yeah, they choose Mr. Anderson, and then Mr. Anderson gets his ass kicked. Backstage.
Brings out Bully Ray.
Yep.
That's a very good promo.
Yeah, he cuts a very good promo, convincing Sting, who's in purple Zubaz pants, by the way. I had to forget that he was. I was like, is Sting wearing those Zubaz pants from the old WCW days? Yes, he is. So, You remember when Sting was before he went all crow, and which was before he went all Joker? He had Zubaz pants. Yeah, he had Zubaz.
Is that when he told WCW to stick it?
Yeah, he had Zubaz pants back then, and he has them now. Freaking pants. Anyways, Sting's convinced, and Hogan ends up convinced, so Bully Ray and Sting will be facing aces and eights.
I wonder what happens here.
You can smell what's going to happen here.
I can smell the shit and it stinks.
And that's the end of the show.
Yes, it is.
So, anyways, do you have anything to plug or sell, Mike?
I do indeed. October 12th and 13th, as I was promoting earlier with Mr. Johnny Miyagi, I'll promote the rest of these shows. IWE Affliction on October 12th, featuring a big title match featuring Gino Martino as he defends against the 7-foot giant Pharaoh. And then October 13th, IWE in Fairfield, which will feature Jack and Jimmy taking on Mark Moment. We also have a tag match involving John the Bomb Breyer and Ricky Williams as they take on Crash Landing and Hobo Joe, although it was supposed to be Frankie Flash, but apparently he's not going to be there. The IWE title is on the line in a no DQ match with Gino Martino facing Sonny Roselli. Also coming up on October 19th and 20th, IWE will be promoting running shows, in Palmyra and Island Falls. And then coming up December 6th, Pro Wrestling Maine will be back again on December 6th in Fairfield, featuring Tommy Dreamer versus Jimmy Jacobs in a steel cage, as well as the Heartthrobs, as well as Luke Robinson, as well as Mike Bennett, and as well as a lot of others. Also, as I plugged last week, if you have time, check out Scott Piscolo and Justin Rozzero on the Place to Be podcast. They did reviews on Bad Blood 97 this week, which I haven't listened to yet, and as well as the UK-only pay-per-view One Night Only.